Few days back, when I gave an interview, I was asked about to explain the CI/CD pipeline of my current project, and this is how I explained it to them. The developers used to push their changes on GitHub Repository. That is where the actual source code was located, which was later on integrated with a CI/CD tool called Jenkins. That is where the actual checkout of code used to happen. Then the next stage was to build the application part, that is building the .jar or .war file. And for this purpose, we have used Maven tool. Here, we have used different Maven goals to implement and build the .jar and .war file. Then the next stage was executing the JUnit test cases, which helps us to identify the overall functionality of the code. Then the next stage is using SonarQube for doing the static code analysis of the overall code by using different quality checks present in the SonarQube part. Then the next stage is to build the Docker image and making sure that Docker image is getting tagged with the appropriate value. Then the next stage was to make sure scanning the overall Docker image to check whether there are any critical or high vulnerabilities present or not. So for that purpose, we have used Trivy. So here we have added a condition that if critical vulnerabilities are identified, then the pipeline should get failed or else it should get passed. Once the scanning is completed and if there are no critical vulnerabilities identified, you can easily push your Docker image on top of the ECR repository. So this completes our CI part. For CD purpose, we will be using here Argo CD. Once your CI part is completed, you will be updating your Helm charts which are present on your GitHub repository. And we know that for Argo CD, the source of truth is going to be your GitHub repository. As soon as you update your Helm charts, Argo CD will be triggering its pipeline and the deployment will be taking place. Once the deployment is successful, then comes the post-sanity part, where the developers and the cloud engineers or DevOps engineers will be doing some sanity test, which includes testing whether the application is running or not, whether there is any latency, whether there is any API failure, right? So this kind of post-sanity test will be taking place. Then comes the alerting and monitoring part. While carrying out this process, you will check whether any alerts were being identified or not, and at the same time, since the deployment is completed, you will be monitoring the performance of your application, you will be monitoring the performance of your infrastructure, using the Grafana dashboards. You will check whether there is higher spike in CPU, memory, performance, API latency or not. So this is how the complete CI/CD pipeline can be explained in the appropriate way.